Hey guys, it's Jimmy from A Kid's Opinion, and today I'm going to be ranking all 10 Fast and Furious movies. So I started watching this franchise um about a year ago in preparation for the ninth one, and well, that didn't come out for like another year. Um but I started. I mean, some of these movies I liked, and some of these movies I didn't. But for the most part, I really liked these movies, especially the later ones more than the first five because the I sometimes like dumb action movies. And lately we've got a lot of dumb action movies from the Fast and Furious franchise, but some are better than others. So yeah, let's get to it. 10th place is going to be The Fast and the Furious, the first installment in this franchise. As much respect I have for this movie for setting up the characters, setting up the universe, all of that, um, I find it forgettable. Maybe that's because I had this whole mix up where I watched the fourth movie, Fast and Furious, because I thought it was the first movie before I watched The Fast and the Furious. So I already saw three Fast and Furious movies. And then I saw The Fast and the Furious. And I was just like, okay, I want to see what happens in Fast 5. Um, I've heard it's good. I want to see the crazy action. I don't really care for this race stuff. And, like, some of it was okay. But I do prefer more of that, like, crazy stuff sometimes. In ninth place is going to be Fast and Furious, the fourth addition to this franchise. And yeah, this movie I have the standout scene for me easily is the ending where they're going through the caves and it's either Paul Walker or Vin Diesel, can't remember which one. They hit the guy named Phoenix in like the stomach. It was a very cool scene. I like it, but besides that, it's a little bit forgettable to me. Um Besides that final thing, nothing that stands out. I do kind of like how they went in like a different kind of prequel direction in this movie than they did with well, wait, no. Was this one the prequel? No, yeah, I think this one was kind of a prequel. Yeah. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this was the one that was kind of a prequel. Um, but yeah, this whole timeline kind of got really confused, so it's hard to think where everything fits in. Um, yeah, never been a huge fan of this one. In eighth place is Fast and Furious Tokyo Drift. This one was my least favorite when I first saw it, but I've grown to like it more because like it gets some new characters that actually had some funny bits in the ninth Fast and Furious movie. So F9 actually made me like Tokyo Drift a little bit more. Also, Tokyo Drift does have some decent scenes. It introduces Han, who's one of my favorite characters. It's kind of become a cult classic over the years. I don't feel that way as much as some other people do. Some other people really love this movie. I've heard on the internet. I don't like it as much. I think it's a decent movie. But yeah, you can see on my ranking that it is only 8 out of 10. So yeah. In seventh place is Too Fast to wait. One more thing about Fast and Furious Tokyo Drift. Um, yeah. Also, what kind of lost me for it. Could have made this movie better is the ending because they were gonna be racing down these mountains, but I didn't like the lighting. You couldn't really see much, and that kind of wasn't. I didn't like the movie too much for that. In seventh place is going to be Too Fast, Too Furious, the second Fast and Furious movie. This one I like. It has some really good action sequences. There's one where they have like I don't know somehow Brian and Roman are able to team up with Tej and get like a bunch of people to like go out of this giant garage with like very similar looking cars. That was a really cool scene because I think they shot it from like an aerial view. That looked cool. There was some good action in here. Like I really liked this movie. It had a lot of good action. I thought it was so much better than what I thought was the first one at the time, and what actually is the first one. But I still don't think it can compete with the later cars going through space, crashing into buildings. Something I did forget to mention. There will be spoilers in this. I might have already done, but in the title, there's a spoiler warning, as you'll see. In sixth place is going to be the new movie, F9. So Yeah, I liked it. I just didn't. I thought it was a little underwhelming, isn't the right word, because of all the unrealistic stuff. I just felt like out of all the action scenes they've had in all these movies, um, these had the maybe more unbelievability than there was Hook. Like some of these movies have like these super unbelievable scenes, but they have like some hook in there. Or there, I felt like the ending of this movie was a little bit too familiar to the seventh Fast and Furious movie. With I mean, they're going down like streets and stuff, like trying to like destroy some terrorists. And though they're both kind of like different scenes playing out, they both kind of have the same like plot to it. And I feel like the seventh Fast and Furious movie got to it first and executed it a lot better because it had much better villains. The seventh one did than this ninth one. It had much better villains. Yeah. Also, yeah, the scenes were more unbelievable than they were interesting. Like what I really want the Fast and Furious movies to do is I'm driving like down a volcano and it's like erupting with like lava going down. As unbelievable as that would be, I feel like the hook would be really good and it would maybe even overshadow the unbelievability. Um yeah. In fifth place is going but I still liked Fast Nine. F9. Fifth place is gonna be Fast Five. Um Maybe I just think this movie's very overrated. Trust me, it's good. I just thought it was a little bit boring at times. The reason that this isn't as hot, the reason that this is, I feel like this is better than Fast Nine, is this is the first movie that gets like the entire crew together, and I think that the whole crew dynamic is really good. Like, I love the ending in this. Like they introduce Luke Hobbs, who I thought was a great addition to the franchise. And there's so much I like about this movie. I just don't think it's as good as the later installments. Speaking of later installments, fourth place is The Fate of the Furious. Not very many people like this movie. Yeah, I mean, I don't really mind the whole split up with Dom, but there were a little bit too many unbelievable scenes. There's like one scene where Cypher is able to control all the cars, and I was like, this is kind of cheap. How they're doing this. There's a little stuff with how characters are written compared to how they were written in previous movies. Now Deckard Shaw is like this funny guy who makes quips. Trust me, I like the quippy version of Shaw, but he wasn't very much like that at all in Furious 7. But still, there's so many action scenes I love in this movie. I think it's very underrated. I was just rewatching it 3 weeks ago, maybe, like, I think a few days before the ninth one came out, and I was like, wow, this movie's really good. Not as good as, like, it's some of its predecessors, but still really good. In third place is going to be Hobbs and Shaw. The only thing I can say kind of against this movie, is that some of the jokes don't land for me. And also there's one character, who's like Shaw's girlfriend that was like barely even in it and was on the cover of the movie. It's just like, why is she really even in this movie? I kind of wish she was in there more. She's just a strange character. I can't remember her name though. Yeah. But besides, the action scenes are so good in this. The characters are funny, clippy. They got a cool villain who's like super tough. Like for the most part, great humor. Kevin Hart in this for the most part is good, but some of the stuff I feel like wasn't the greatest. But still, there's like so much good stuff in this. The final battle in like Samoa, one of my favorite Fast and Furious final battles. I just like one word comes to my mind when I think of that final battle, and it's awesome. I love it, and I really, really like this movie and the pair up. In second place is Fast and Furious 6. When I first saw this movie, I was like, this is my favorite Fast and Furious movie. Um, but yeah, it's not because it's only in second place. The only thing I can say against it is that there is a better movie than this, which I'll get to in a sec. Fast and Furious 6 introduced one of my favorite villains, Owen Shaw. It brought Letty back in a good way. Yeah, it did have some pretty unbelievable and super duper unrealistic scenes that I didn't think I mean, like, I was fine with it when I saw it. It had some good sacrifices. I really liked how they did like a lot of this stuff with like relationships and like sacrifices. Like Elena, like all the characters in this movie really got like their time to shine, their time to make a sacrifice, their time to do something good. Like just wow. Like I was blown away when I saw this. I was like, I heard everyone talking about Fast Five. What about Fast and Furious 6? This movie's amazing. Yeah, I think I think this was in like my one of my favorite movies from every year I was born. I think for 2013 or 2011. But my gosh, I love this movie. In first place is Furious 7, my favorite of the Fast and Furious franchise. Great action scenes, even the one where they're jumping out of the buildings. I love the one where they're taking cars out of planes. I love one of my favorite movies of 2015. I don't think it what 2015, yeah. It wasn't my favorite of 2015. I think that went to Avengers: Age of Ultron. I think I forgot to mention this video. I forgot to mention this movie, my favorite movie. Um, from every year I was born video. But still, I loved this movie. Great introduction. Well, actually, I think Shaw was in a post-credit scene. Deckard Shaw was in a post-credit scene. But great villain in Deckard Shaw. Great secondary villain in in the terrorist that like captured Ramsey. Really like that person. Really like that secondary villain. They didn't have too much like backstory and stuff, but they were kind of like menacing, and they were like a very good opponent. I wish that this movie had more Luke Hobbs, but when he's in it, he's really good. Like I just love this movie even more than Fast and Furious 6. I just love Furious 7 so much. Like I think I rewatched it 2 months ago, and I was just like, this movie is so good. Like the mountainside fight scene, really good. I love this movie. So yeah, Furious 7 comes in at number 1. So you probably heard me saying the word love towards the end, because some of these movies I said are amazing in my opinion. So yes, please like and subscribe, comment in the comment section. Please give me suggestions on how to improve my channel. Please give me recommendations on movies and TV shows to talk about, review, rank. Get me from a kid's opinion, and be good people.